No. Why aren't I live? Oh, there are people here. Why can't I see it then? And I need to change my screen's orientation. Everything looks different on this. And no, that's the other way. You don't want to be seeing that. Oh, hold on. I'm about to go live on there. Yes. Oh, no, I'm not. That's the other way. You don't want to be seeing that. Oh, hold on. I'm about to go. Orientation is locked. Sorry, friends. She's frantically trying to work out how to work out the orientation. Sorry, friend. This is a lovely angle, isn't it? So previously, it was just under there. Thank you, Chris. Right, here we go. What's that? Green screen? No, we definitely don't need one of those. No, we don't need one of those. No green screen. How to change the orientation lock? Nope, that's games. Oh my god, this all looks different to normal. Nope, she doesn't need any of those. No, I don't need any stickers. Oh, that's where the thingies are, though. Hi, everybody. Why is this so tricky? No, that's the camera off. We don't need that either. I can't go that way because it locks me. Look, we're like that. Okay. Oh no, this is really annoying because it's not going to fit David in when he gets here. We're going to have to go like this for the time being. But when David gets here, he's not going to be able to fit in on that, is he? This doesn't feel like YouTube. This feels like an Instagram live or an Instagram story, which is what I would have done. But anyway, hello to everybody. Lol at me being all close up like an old nan looking at the phone just as you come in. Hello to everybody. Chris, hi. Emily's here. Layla, Carton, Faith, Bess, Sue, Annika, catching the last of the sunshine outside. Bliss, very hot here. Unintentional minimalist, love that name. Hi everyone. Pam says, I think it's a YouTube thing. Another creator is having the same issues on lives. Yeah, so I mean, if I can just quickly bore you with this, is that there is a taskbar literally here. And previously on that taskbar was just a little screen that showed you whether or not you wanted to go portrait or landscape, and you just click that. And you used to be able to do that before you'd even gone live, and it wasn't letting me do that before I went live. And I thought, oh, well, we'll just see it when we get there. We'll just do it when we get there. And yeah, not letting me do that. But here we go. We're like this for the minute. We'll see what happens when David gets here because he'll need to fit in, and that's not going to happen. Melly says hi. Suzanne says hi. Happy cozy reading night. Lindsay says hi. Ask Google Gemini. I'm completely addicted, but it does always know. We'll try. I'll get David to do that when he gets here. Jennifer, hi. Nia, Rebecca, the British Bookworm, hi. Books of Jane, Carly, Kirsty, Sally. Danielle says hello. Made it with minutes to spare after a surprise scarecrow trail outing this afternoon. So hello, that is exciting. And Books with Evie says, hi, Lauren, miss you. You're going to miss me even more after Sunday, let me tell you. Joe Harlem says, hi, hello from the Netherlands. Finn says, hi, everyone. So, yeah, here we are. Here we are, hopefully in our loosest of clothes, ready for a cozy reading night. I've got myself a really one-a-day habit of having an iced coffee. The good thing about this one-a-day habit, which was previously costing me at the very minimum £5 a day, is that I've now bought myself a bottle of Nescafe decaf espresso that you can put into, in my instance, oat milk, and have iced coffees every day for a fraction of the price and in the comfort of my own home with much more ice than, or I can top up the ice as it goes. So that's what I've got going for the time being. David is at football until 7, and then he will be coming home and popping the pizza in the oven and joining us. He'll get home and have a shower and all of that sort of thing. It's the first time, so he's been playing walking football. God, quite some months now, and he's been doing it on a Tuesday and a Friday, but the Friday stopped for a while because they had actual matches, the football club that they use, they had their actual cup finals to use, and now he's gone back on a Friday. He was just like, why is it so hot? This is the hottest Friday. So yeah, we'll see how he gets on there. But yes, here we are, ready for a lovely 3 hours of reading together. Which I'm very much looking forward to. There are 104 of us. Wow. Do let me know whereabouts you are in the world. And then I think we'll move on to what we're going to be reading. However, I think we'll split it like we have been doing, because I've been using these cozy reading nights that we've been doing every other month. I've been using them as non-fiction cozy reading nights because I've been doing a non-fiction reading challenge this year. Tonight, if you saw on Instagram, I asked you guys what I want, what book about books, what non-fiction book about books you think I should read, and it was between Dear Reader and What Writers Read, and this was the one that won. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I had a lot of people messaging me saying this is a lovely, warm, wonderful book, so I will be reading this. So first of all, tell me where you are in the world, what the weather's like, if you're hot, if you're all doing all right, and then we'll move on to, I think I'll split it so that if you're reading a non-fiction book, tell me the non-fiction book we're reading, and then when David gets here, we'll talk about the fiction books. But yeah, 107 of us now, so let's have a little look. Here we go. Chris says, hi, good luck, Lauren. Emily says, I'm currently reading a Mills and Boon novel, Hidden Heirs, Consequences of a Playboy. Hello, that sounds spicy, spicy, Emily. Oh, this is Kirsty's first cozy reading night. Well, welcome, Kirsty. Oh, wow, these have been going on for some time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a 3-hour session whereby we read together and have a lovely time. There's snacks. In the winter months, there's books and there's blankets and candles and coziness. Tonight feels a bit more like a sweaty reading night, but here we are. Sue is in Hertford, in Hertfordshire. Faith is in London. Heidi is in Aberdeenshire. Great accent there, wasn't it? Birgit says, hello everyone, I made it. I didn't think I would, as it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Birgit. But this is important too. The big party is tomorrow, so this will be nice and relaxing. Oh, that's nice. Nice way to spend your birthday. And Birgit's in Denmark. Pam is just up from Glasgow. Not excited. That is exciting. And also I bet the weather is much more, I'm going to bring this closer, is much more acceptable to me. Tracy is in Port Elizabeth in South Africa. Amazing. We've got another one from Hertfordshire. Sarah's in Ipswich, which is so hot. I hear very hot things about Norfolk and Suffolk. I think it's because it's so flat. Is that why? Because whenever the weather seems hot, it seems to be super hot there. Eva's in Munich. Emily's from the West Midlands. Linda's in Orlando and Florida. Sally's in Wales. Pam says in Glasgow the temperature isn't too high, but it's really humid. Yeah. Oh, imagine me saying that name. I ended up buying What Writers Read after seeing your post. Looking forward to reading it. Lovely. Jill's in Bristol. It's hot. Abby said it's hot but cooler than it has been, so I'm happy. Lindsay's in Bolton, and the Domino's has just arrived. There was part of me that was thinking, should me and David get Domino's tonight? But we had such a lovely time with the Marks and Spencer's pizza last week that we were getting an Ocado delivery today, and David said, oh, let's get that pizza again. So we will be having a lovely deep dish pizza. I'll get David to show it to you. RD Kolb is in Maidstone, close to me. Maidstone is another place whereby it's very flat, and it also seems to have, like, whatever weather is going on, Maidstone seem to get it like double hard. So if it's hot, it's really fucking hot in Maidstone. If it's raining, it's absolutely chucking it down in Maidstone. If it's a little bit snowy, it's a blizzard in Maidstone. So yeah, I think it's something like a microclimate or something. Rebecca says Lancaster, a lot cooler than it has been finally. Joan says London, and I've got aircon, thank goodness, you lovely thing. Dawn is in a basement flat in Croydon, I guess. Nia says I'm in Carmarthenshire, South Wales, reading non-fiction book, A History of Britain in 10 Enemies. Oh, lovely. We've got another one in Aberdeenshire, Kelly there. Sue Books Flowers is in Istanbul in Turkey. Annika says she's in the Midlands in UK. It's around 20 degrees with a lovely breeze. Yeah, I'm crying out for another breeze here because all the time this is going on, we cannot have the fan on. Curious Feline says, I'm in Lincolnshire. It's hotter than Satan's armpit. Not a fan. I've been reading Hotel Exile, but lost my way with it a bit. Oh, I've got that coming to me from the library shortly. British Bookworm says, feels weird not to have a bath on Cozy Reading Night. Yeah, I did have a cool bath yesterday, though. I had to opt for a cool shower. Carly's near Guildford in Surrey. Unintentional Minimalist is in London. I think I've just lost it. London, bit disappointed. It's not warmer. Oh, Alison's in New York City. Faith says, I'm reading Hotel Exile and The Sea by R.S. Murdoch. Estelle says, watching from Manchester, it's cooler now, reading the book club detective. Jennifer says, Pool, home of Lush. Yes, that's where the shop Lush is. Lovely. Sophie's in Oxfordshire reading Famesick by Lena Dunham. It's thankfully a little cooler today. I think I'm going to do the audiobook of that at some point over the summer. Mrs. B. Reed says, love a cosy reading night, and this one makes up for having to come home from a lovely holiday with the family. I'm glad you had something nice to come home to. Bloody, I've just seen there's 130 of us. How lovely. 130,000, I meant. Finn says, I'm in Newcastle, not here either. I'm reading Bad Science by Ben Goldacre. Layla's in London and far too hot. Jess is in Liverpool, much cooler today. Dan's in Bath, which has felt like living in a hot bath this last week. Evie's in Hampshire, a sweaty mess today, reading Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Wooshell, hello, says, I'm also melting in Suffolk, not a fan of the heat at all. Romantic Bookworm is in central Scotland. Jules says, it's been blooming boiling in Herefordshire. I can't stay as I'm off out and not sure I'll be free for book club, so I wanted to say have a lovely break. Oh, Jules, thank you so much. Yeah, maybe I'll see you at book club. If not, see you at the next one. Lily says, I'm in Oxfordshire. Today has been a much nicer temperature. Rebecca said, I just had spicy, oh my God, this sounds gorgeous. Spicy salmon rice and tender stem, which is the perfect summer tea, would agree. And Ben & Jerry's waiting for me in the freezer too. Oh, lovely. We have got some knobbly bobblies and some Valencia ice lollies in the freezer. So excited about that. Oh, lovely. So we've got Roxina, who's in Romania. 15 degrees outside. Oh, lovely. Joe says, evening from Yorkshire. This is a lovely surprise. Oh, lovely. Suzanne Underhill says, I'm in Stockport, hopefully finishing one book and starting another tonight. Hello, your true shelf. Norwich is a really nice temperature. Oh, good to hear it. Kate Likes Cake says, hi, Lauren. Kate in West Midlands reading Dominion after dinner. Lovely. Heather and Shirley McNeil says, hello from sweaty London. Slav is in Bulgaria. It's supposed to be hot by this time of year, but it's 16 degrees only. Currently reading Strangers by Belle Burden. Bloody hell, the Europe, on the continent, we seem to be a lot cooler than it is here. I mean, to be fair, the high temperature it was today was 25, but it has felt so hot today. When I went out, it rained for about 10 minutes earlier and I went out to get the washing in. I've been firmly staying in with the blinds drawn. I was like, it is so hot. It is so hot, but it's supposed to cool down a lot next week. Birgit says, I'm reading Voices of the Dead by Ambrose Parry. It's so good. A bit like Tracy Chevalier. Oh, lovely. Historical crime with lots of fact. The weather is not a fact. The weather is not too hot here, 17 degrees Celsius. Heidi says, I had teriyaki salmon, lots of salmon tonight. Teriyaki salmon and tender stem with rice too, definitely summer dins. Glad the weather has been nice and breezy today. And Emily says, I love your bookshelf. Oh, Emily, well, if you love that corner, you're going to love the rest of it. But we'll work out how we're going to make that bigger later. Maybe we'll do a little focusing on David and focusing on me while that's happening. Jill says, I'm reading Call Me By Your Name by Andre Asselman. Lovely. And Amanda says, what a nice surprise. How's your summer off going? It hasn't started yet, Amanda. It starts on Monday. This is the last hurrah. We've got a video of my May reading wrap up going on Sunday. And this is the last cosy reading night before I take 3 months off. And then I'm off for, just in David Drive around the corner, June, July and August, which I'm very much excited. Karen says, hi Lauren, I'm starting Electra by Jennifer Saint, gorgeous in Cornwall today, lovely. Sally says, I'm reading an early copy of Wild Heart, a cosy middle grade. I've just found a really long hair under my chin. Oh my God, so long. I'm reading an early copy of Wild Heart by a cosy middle grade fantasy debut by Beck Mansa. It's brilliant. A little bit cooler in South Wales, but still very warm. Sue says it's 22 degrees in Istanbul, lovely and sunny, but I think we'll get the heat wave next week. It'll be 27:30. Yeah, that's what we've had. I hope everyone is coping with the heat wave well. Thanks, Sue. Just about hanging on. Jessica says, hi Lauren, Jess tuning in from New York City, reading The Deep Sky by Yume Kitase on my lunch break. Lovely. I'm hoping to read some of Saltwater Mansions. Mwah, love that book that I picked up yesterday and hopefully start Pages & Co. Great. I mean, kind of fine, but you'll get through it easily, I promise. Evie says, did Park run last week at 20 degrees? Ooh. Have I read the fine print? I haven't, Emily. Eva says 30 degrees in Bavaria almost all week long. Oh my God, melty face. Well done, everybody. We're just coming up for, I have my phone set 6 minutes early. I like to be early for everything. So I have my phone set 6 minutes early. So that's saying 1921, that's saying 1914. I think we'll go for that. I'm going to wait for David to come in just so that I can say hello to him. And then I think we'll dive in for a sort of 15-minute reading sesh. And I can hear him coming in now. Hello! You all right? How did it go? Was it hot? Are you all right? Was it really hot?
It was quite hot, yeah.
How are you? You look a bit sweaty.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm sunburnt.
Oh, I mean, between 6 and 7, that'll be.
Yeah.
You've worked. You do look pink, but that might just be because you're hot and bothered.
I don't know. I feel
Sunburnt. Oh no. Well, we're just annoyingly, it won't go on to vertical. No, horizontal. So we're doing a sort of come and say hello.
Oh.
So we're doing a just poke your head in. Poke your sweaty head in. Hello, sweaty.
Oh yeah, look, I do.
David is now going to put the oven on and put the pizza in and then have a shower.
Yeah.
So I think this would probably, I'll just catch up with your comments. And then I think we'll have a 15-minute reading sesh just in time for David to come back, and then we can have a chat about what we're eating and what you guys are eating when David comes in. So yeah, so let's just go through the comments and then I'll do a 15-minute reading sesh. Trickster's Brain says, the will of many has finally made it back to me from the library. Let's hope I don't have to start from the beginning. Amy says, it's bloody gorgeous in Hereford, eating cheese and beetroot sarnie, lovely. Maria in our library says, I'm just over 100 pages into this book made me think of you and I've already teared up 3 times. Wow. And Alison has said, did you know Queenie's getting a sequel? Yes, I saw on Candice Carty-Williams's Instagram page that it's getting a sequel. Very exciting. And Sue said that's great news. And Pam says, I'm going to concentrate on Pages and Co, as I only started it last night. Right, well, lovely. So yeah, we've just gone past 7:30. I'm going to settle in now for 15 minutes with Dear Reader. So let's all do that. I'll cross my legs so you don't have to look right up my vagina. And yeah, let's have a lovely time. Let's get going. Dear Reader. See you at 7:30. That's 7:30, guys. I've got a lovely bit of light in my face. I don't know if you can hear the dogs barking, and we live not even that close to a church, which play very loud, lovely band music, and they have singing. It's sort of like singing, worshipping through singing. But never normally on a Friday. So that's unusual that they're doing that tonight. But yeah, you might be able to hear all of that. A few people. Emily said, "Do I have advice on how to style my new bookshelves? How do I use crates to put my book series in?" Emily, you do what you want, babes. You do what you want. Mine's in colour order. You can't really see that at the moment. There they are, in colour order. But I've literally just read in here that Kathy Rensenbrink, when she moved to her new place.
I might do a little Caesar salad.
Oh my God, yes, please. Yeah, lovely. When she moved to her new place, she put her books on her shelf by the order, the date in which she read them as a child, like starting as a child.
Sorry, you haven't fed her, have you?
No, I haven't fed her, no. And then chronological order after that. I do think maybe I would like to check. I mean, one of the things I would like to do over the summer is rearrange my bookshelf. So maybe I'll try it in a different way that isn't colour. Maybe I'll try it a different way and see how that feels. That'll be unusual. Tracy's reading Children of Sugarcane by Joanne Joseph. Laura says, "Hello, Lauren. Thanks for doing this cozy reading night. You're welcome. I'm going to miss your content." So, yes, hello from Belgium. 30 degrees, hot and humid. And hello, David, who's been poking his head in. I'm reading my travel guide about Yorkshire. Hope that's allowed as reading material. Absolutely. Later on, I'll switch to fiction. Stay hydrated, everyone, and have a nice reading time. Romantic Book When said, "I'm currently reading Deviant King by Rena Kent on Kindle and Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister in physical book. Pam says, "I'm about 80% into Flashlight, which is my last from the Women's Prize fiction shortlist. Surprised how much I'm enjoying it." Yeah, I've actually got that. I keep putting it off because it's a bit chunky, but maybe I should get on it. Abigail says, "I'm just catching up, reading Dominion by We've got somebody else reading Dominion as well. Siddharth says, "I'm studying Limits and Derivatives." Nice. Eve says, "I'm in the middle of Kingfisher by Patricia A. McKillip, her last novel." Kirsty says, I have to arrange alphabetically for fiction." Lovely. Bookish Joe says, "I'm reading Vet at the End of the Earth by Joanne Hollins." And Kirsty says, "I'm reading My Friends by Frederick Backman." So yeah, I've just read 22 pages of Dear Reader. I mean, I'm loving it already. Very, very much enjoying it. It begins with her talking about how much she loves Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is my favourite book. It then moves on to her sort of first bookish memory and talks about her loving Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia, and in particular Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And she said that when her and her brother used to sort of bother her mother would say, "Look, if you leave me alone for an hour to read, then I will read you a chapter of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe." And I just remember so vividly being so taken in of the world of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and being sort of as well as being like my first bookish memory and how much I enjoyed that book. It's also my first bookish disappointment because I remember getting other books in that series and being like, "Well, this isn't the same." And then it goes on to talk about some books that she likes to reread, children's books that she likes to reread. And yeah, I mean, I've read 3 of them. So The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, I've read that this year. 2 that I haven't heard of, Jennings Goes to School by Anthony Buckeridge and Biggles Learns to Fly by Captain W.E. Johns. Haven't heard of either of those. The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit, which I read for the first time. I think we did that for book club, actually. Last year or the year before. And Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, which I sort of tend to reread November, really, for my birthday as a bit of a treat. And last year I read a gorgeous edition of it. But yeah, I really, really love it. So yes, let me know in the comments children's books that you love to reread, or if you've got an earliest reading memory, what your earliest reading memory of the book is. And we're just about to leap it. So the next chapter I've just started is about girls in books. And I know there's a lot in there about Anne of Green Gables. So yeah, I think this is going to be absolutely perfect for me. So there we go. Let's have a little look. Annika says, "I'm reading She Wanted More by Paula Bell." Oh, lovely. I've read, I can't remember what it's called, one of Paula's first books. Then we'll move on to Hum by Helen Phillips. Yeah, I was delighted that I had Hum by Helen Phillips on my Kindle. I bought it for 99p a month or so ago. And then it's just won the Climate Change Prize. Might not be called that, but yeah, similar to that. Sarah's reading Wild Dark Shore, what I very much enjoyed. Rebecca said, "I'm so excited about my books tonight. A tandem read, few chapters of one, then on the other, and so on to swap characters and places." Lovely. Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. Lovely. Dan says, "The Secret Painter by Joe Tucker, non-fiction. It's brilliant. Just a tiny book written about his uncle and all didn't know about him. Lovely. Carly says, I'm reading Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. Lovely. AB Shark says, I'm reading London Falling by Patrick Radden Keefe. I read that book this month. It was bloody brilliant. The comment goes on and says, you inspired me to read non-fiction which I have read which I haven't read in a long time. It's just Patrick Radden Keefe. I mean, I've read Say Nothing as well, which I read last year. His non-fiction is just so amazing. Like the ability to get those facts and figures off the page in such a sort of like viewable way. What am I saying? Like I can literally, like in Say Nothing, when the mother goes missing, like I can envisage that scene taking place. And then there's so much of these sort of, when he's describing these buildings in I forgot what it's called. I keep forgetting, it's got London Falling. The buildings along the Thames, like I can just see that so perfectly. He's an amazing, amazing writer. Gave that 5 stars. Brilliant. It will be one of my best books of the year. Emily says, I'm currently reading chapter 12 of Hidden Heirs, Consequences of a Playboy, page 180. Yes, that's the Mills and Boon, isn't it? Dawn says, I'm reading Revolting by Terry Deary, which is basically a horrible history book for adults, all I'm capable of at the moment. I got that out from the library last year. Did I read it or not? I think I might have read it. Or did I get it out from the library and had to go back? I can't remember. I can't remember anything of the plot, so maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I didn't get around to it. Layla says, reading The Mercy Step. Got that. Last book on the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlist that I've got to read. Pam's got an earliest reading memory. Here we go. So Pam says, one of my earliest reading memories is reading Heidi in a lovely edition my mum got me from the Book People. Oh, the Book People. If you're in the UK, you may well remember the Book People. They used to come with these massive, big bookshelves that would open up like that, so they used to sort of wheel them into the school hall, and then they would open up like this, and my mum would let me buy a book or two from there. And ordinarily I'd probably buy non-fiction from there, actually, because I'd like to buy like books about specific stuff, mainly the Egyptians. I was very into the Egyptians. Oh, that was such an exciting time, and I think they were quite reasonably priced as well, if I remember. Heather and Shirley McNeil said, I've just started Evenings and Weekends. Lovely. Faith says, my earliest bookish memory is The Wizard of Oz. I was terrified of the flying monkeys. That has continued into adulthood for me, Faith. I also love Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Alison said, I'm reading the new David Sedaris. Unintentional Minimalist said, starting off with an anthology of essays by Damone Wheel. Suzanne said, last 100 pages of Pages & Co, and then I've got about 8 to choose from, and I can't decide, and I'm quite excited with a free weekend ahead. Oh, lovely. What a weekend ahead you've got, Suzanne. Heidi says, I'm switching between I Am Agatha by Nancy Foley and The Myth of Normal by Gable Mate. Bess Lewis is reading Disclaimer by Renee Knight, liking it so far. Nia said, if you'd love non-fiction Time Traveller's Guide series by Ian Mortimer. Lovely. Abigail has also got an earliest book memory, and that is her asking her grandma to tell me a story, and she told me the plot of Little Women. I was very surprised when I discovered she didn't create it. Oh, that's lovely, Abigail. Oh, how lovely. That's a really nice thing to do. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Pam says Book People were very reasonable prices, which was a great thing for our working class community. Yeah, absolutely. Ilaria, hi Ilaria. I don't have time to read anything at the moment, about to submit my dissertation. I have a lot of books about the history of food waiting for me, like Penny Vogler's. Oh, I've got that. I've read that. I can see the cover. It's got a big ham on the cover, hasn't it? I can see it in my mind's eye. Emily says, my earliest reading memory is reading Disney books when I was a kid. Lovely. Mrs. B reads says, I've just started reading The Fellowship of Puzzle Makers. And Pam says, Abigail, you've just reminded me of my uncle convincing my cousin that he wrote the Robert Burns poem. Oh, it's called Scoff. Yes, well done, Heidi. Bess said, my earliest reading memory is a book called Ballerina Bess, which my mum convinced me was about me. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Oh, I do love thinking back to, like, it's so nice as well to take, like, we used to go to the library very, very regularly as children. And we had a village library that we'd go to, that I very quickly read basically everything in there. But occasionally, if my mum needed to go into town, and people went into town a lot more than people need to go into town, like for banking or stamps or a bit shopping or whatever, then we'd go to the bigger library in town. And that was always hugely exciting because there was stuff in there that I hadn't read, and I was like, oh my God. And that's where I remember getting into sort of Jacqueline Wilson books, and when I became a teenager, reading the teen books in there, and yeah, and then slowly working my way around into the adult section and stuff. Yeah, that was very, very exciting. Oh, libraries and reading as a child, isn't it just so thrilling? Yeah, so I think I'm going to have a lovely time with this, particularly as it goes like as it starts sort of childhood and then works its way into adulthood. Now, I had a little look because I recognised the name of Kathy Rensenbrink, and I thought I'm sure I've read a book about. I'm sure I've read another book of hers about books, but the only two other books she's done before this, and I know she's got a new one out now because this was published in 2020, so this is 6 years old now. The Last Act of Love, which I think she's got a twin brother, and I think her twin brother dies quite tragically, if I remember that right. If I remember rightly, and The Last Act of Love is a book from her, like about losing a twin or losing a brother, if I remember rightly. So I'm sure we've got that to come. I mean, she's already mentioned that like reading has sort of got her through big periods of grief and stuff like that. So yeah, I think we're going to be high and low with it, but I think I'm going to have an absolutely wonderful time with it. So there we go. Right, let's have a look and see if there's any more early reading memories. Carly said, I was obsessed with a book about giraffes, but for the life of me, I don't know what it was called or who it was by. Lovely. I also used to have, I remember one year for Christmas getting an encyclopedia. I'm trying to think of the name of the encyclopedia. It was a very well-known encyclopedia. It was red. And I just remember sort of poring over everything and saying to my dad, give me something to look up in the encyclopedia. And then like, because there was only like ever like one little paragraph on stuff. Or if it was a country, maybe you'd have like more statistics and a map and stuff like that. And then I'd do like posters and poems and projects about like one little tiny thing in the encyclopedia. Britannia Encyclopedia was it? Yeah, I loved it. Girl Friday says, I loved Anne of Green Gables, adorable. The Babysitters Club, loved the Babysitters Club so much, and Sweet Valley High. Emily says, I love fantasy like The Witcher and The Hobbit, I love them. Trickster's Brain says, one birthday he wrote some of them up as a little book. Oh, that's so nice. And Caroline's agreeing with Girl Friday about Anne of Green Gables, The Babysitters Club, and Sweet Valley High. And Pam said, I love Sweet Valley High, the TV show. Layla said, one reading memory I have from when I was younger was when my mum gave me food poisoning and I was bedbound reading Matilda. Oh, amazing. I remember reading George's Marvellous Medicine and then playing with the girls who lived opposite where we lived and us making a potion in a glass. And it was out of like, I mean, her mum must have been doing her fucking nuts. We were just like squeezing stuff in the bathroom, and then we went and rinsed that glass. No, then we emptied it, and then we were drinking lemonade or something. And her older sister drank lemonade out of the glass that we'd made the potion in. I mean, we'd washed the glasses out, but we were so panicked that we hadn't washed the glass out thoroughly, and that she was going to get super ill from having this poison potion. Oh, this is lovely reading all of your earliest reading memories. Unintentional Minimalist said, earliest reading memory of reading on my own was the Heidi books. Trickster's Brain said, I was a big Redwall fan as a kid. Yeah, I read Redwall last year. Kirsty said, I love the Flower Fairy books, but more for the illustrations than the poems. I remember those illustrations vividly. Laura says, the book that I remember first that was read to me at the dinner table just after eating it was a wonderful German picture book about Mux and his family. They were all cute hedgehogs, and I think I remember it so well because then all of a sudden ruined the book by being sick and barfing all over it, the guilt. Oh, God. Pam said, I've never been able to eat Turkish Delight, and it's because of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I remember we read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe when I was in year 2 at school, and I remember us remaking, I've told this story so many times, so forgive me, reimagining the tea party at Mr. Tumnus's house. So we had honey on toast, and I remember that was the first time I had a cup of tea, and I was like, oh, I really like this tea because it had like 6 sugars in it. And then when I remember going home saying to my mum, I like tea, they're making me a tea, and me but like, what is this? But eating honey on toast and just being all cozy, and those descriptions of like the warmth and coziness of it all. And even like when they go to, there's so much description of food in that book, isn't there? When Mr. and Mrs. Beaver and they catch fish and make their buttered potatoes and the fish that they've just caught, and then she makes marmalade cake, and oh my God, love it. Alison said, I loved a chapter book called Kate's Turn about a ballerina. Still love the copy and reread it to this day. Linda loved anything by Roald Dahl. Yeah, me too. Suzanne said, I loved point horror books as a teen. Now I wouldn't pick up a horror if you paid me. Mrs. B. Reed says, one of my earliest reading memories is my dad reading his old Enid Blyton stories at bedtime. I still have them, but they're a bit battered now. These days I regularly go back to the Railway Children. Lauren, hi Lauren. Hi Lauren, currently reading A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and I am massively late to the party. I actually bought this book because of one of your older Cosy reading nights years ago. Oh, amazing. Heather and Shirley say the Biff, Chip and Kipper series, loved them as a kid. Yeah, I remember them vividly. Oh, yep. And then Annika says, I remember Biff, Chip, and Kipper books at my granny's house, and she would give me a bowl of fruit as a reward. I still love fruit now. We even did a play on Biff and Chip and the Magic Key books at school. Oh, amazing. Eva said, my earliest bookish memory is my sister telling me the story of the Hobbit during a long family road trip. The image of the gold sticking to Smaug's belly has stayed with me ever since. Heidi said, the folk of the faraway tree was mine. My mum gave me a childhood copy as a gift when I graduated. Yeah, I remember those, like, speaking of Enid Blyton, like the famous 5 books in particular, but also the Secret 7, just like the freedom that they had of just going on adventures and packing up a sandwich, and there was always lemonade, and then just going off on your bikes or off to an island to explore and stuff. It just felt so, like, it felt like such an incredible thing to have done then when I was a child, like 30 years ago. So I can't even imagine how far detached children nowadays reading that would feel. I'd quite like my niece to read. Well, my niece is she's very into reading, and she sort of said to herself for a long time, I can't read chapter books by myself, but she's getting so confident with it now. And yeah, I'm very excited about her reading and us being able to read things together. But yeah, she read the graphic novel of Anne of Green Gables, which was very exciting for me. And then Jennifer said, Enid Blyton books, Secret 7 were my favourite, In the Garden on Sunny Summer Days, amazing. Emily remembers reading Peter Rabbit as a kid. Annika says, I was obsessed by Mallory Towers. I kept hoping to be sent off to boarding school so I could wear bonnets and have midnight feasts. I've never read Mallory Towers, and I know it got made into a TV show. And my cousin Laura, was reading her daughter Mallory Towers, and she was saying that her daughter was absolutely loving them. There's just, I guess it's because it's just like girls. Like I was so excited when there was girls in books when I was younger. So yeah. Ilaria says, I remember when we were showing the primary school library and we were allowed to choose our first book. Mine was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, amazing book, and just being like, so, like, there's so much imagination and sort of vividness in there, isn't there, that you can imagine as a child. But I remember also, again, in the same way that I remember trying to read the rest of the Chronicles of Narnia, and not being excited by those, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, me being like, what has Roald Dahl done to my favourite book? Being really, really disappointed. Trix's Brain said, I took up both piano and violin because of Mallory Towers, and Pam loves Mallory Towers. Sophie says, I was obsessed with the Lucy Daniels book, specifically Dolphins in the Deep. Nobody's ever heard of them. Was it, I think I might have heard of these. Sophie, was it like sort of alliteratively, like you've just said, dolphins in the deep, like horses in the hay? Those sort of things. Like, I'm trying to think of another animal. Bears in the barn, for example, like that. I feel like I sort of remember something like that being around at school. Books with Jane said, I loved Mallory Towers too. It made me want to play lacrosse like all the posh boarding school girls. Rick Eccles says, I remember reading Mr. Galliano's Circus by Enid Blyton, absolute banger. Lauren said, I'm not sure if anyone remembers the Felicity Wishes books, but I used to love those. Again, familiar to me, Felicity Wishes. Caroline says, point horror books on my level of horror and still are. Oh, and Trickster's Brain saying there was a dog one from Lucy Daniels that I love, and Heidi saying I remember Otters in the Outhouse. So yeah, I think I might be right with those Lucy Daniels ones. I think we might have had some of those in the community library at work. We've got a good community library at work that I got fitted when I first started working there, and we get a lot of books coming and going. And I remember there being a big lot of them being dropped off there. So maybe. Emily's asked if I ever read Cursed Love. Never read a book called Cursed Love, Emily. Curious Feline said, my earliest memory is the Puddle Lane books. I also love Narnia and Judy Blume. Here he comes. Oh, you're not in pyjamas.
No, you're not in
Oh,
pyjamas.
no, nor am I.
I didn't want to be in pyjamas.
And Lindsay saying, I love those Badgers in the Basement. So I was right. It was deep in the old Mine Palace. Mrs. B. Reed says, Puppies in the Pantry was one too. Animal Ark was the series, and I was mind blown to learn. Oh God, Mrs. B. Reed, we need to know what you were mind blown to learn. It's cut off your comment. We need to know. So I know we've only done 15 minutes reading so far, but I think I can just hear David plating up the pizza. So I think we'll eat our pizza and we'll have a little chat about what everyone's eating and snacking on, if indeed they can. Oh, sometimes when it's hot, people don't want to eat. Although David says it makes him more hungry, Dave. I think it gives me a tummy ache, the heat. But yeah, I think we'll do that. So Oh, sorry. So it says Puppies in the Pantry was one too. Animal Ark was the series, and I was mind blown to learn that lots of them were written by different authors. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, pressed enter too early. No, I remember finding that out about another series of book and being like, what? Finding out that this particular Nancy Drew. I think it was the Nancy Drew series. That person, I can't remember the author of Nancy Drew now. I'm sure someone will say it and I'll be like, yes, absolutely. But yeah, Nancy Drew wasn't written by one particular person. Oh God, what is the name of the person that writes Nancy Drew? That person that is more of people write the stories. Caroline Keane, thank you. Yeah, I remember finding that out. Oh my God, I can smell the pizza and it smells so good. So yeah, I remember being mind blown that the Nancy Drew books were written by lots of different people. Thank you. Lots of people saying Caroline Keane now. I also remember we used to go on camping holidays to France when I was younger, and as a child, I could only get out 15 books at a time. And I remember I used to, and I was reading a lot of point horrors and Babysitters Clubs, Nancy Drews, this sort of thing. So I must have been sort of like 9, 10, 11-ish. And quite quickly, I would get through my 15 books because I'd read like 3 books on the way down there and then just spend the rest of the time just like, my mum's got great pictures of me like in a donut on a lake just reading a Nancy Drew book. And I would just take myself off. Here he comes with the pizza. Is that mine?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, it looks lovely, David.
The dip as well.
Oh my God, that looks so nice.
Oh.
Thank you. Could I please have a water? It can't, sadly, that's had coffee in, so it can't be in that one. Oh my God, this looks lovely. Look at that. Pizza and thingy. Pizza and salad. Yeah, so after I'd got through the sort of 15 books that I'd read by the time the first week was over, my sister would read a lot younger than me, so potentially I'd read hers, but I'd end up reading like my dad's Clive Cussler's, and I remember reading like my mum's Martina Cole books and stuff, which are definitely not for children to be reading. And yeah, that's a great, it's lovely talking about bookish memories, isn't it? Lovely stuff. Right, okay, so as you can see, I've got my plate of food. David's going to be here soon with his plate of food. Would you like, I'm going to move that so that we're potentially both in a little bit. Would you like to tell me what I'll just do it there just until David's here. What you're eating tonight, and is it snacks? Is it dinner? Tell me what the deal is. I've got a Caesar salad. Where's the cheese come from, David? Did you do the cheese?
It was in the.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised by that cup.
It was in the that Creamfields one.
Oh. And some pizza. Yeah. Let me know what you're eating. Pam said I've actually enjoyed a couple of Clive Cussler's in my teens. Oh, well, Laria said, I wish you could try the pizza we've learnt to bake. We have a 450 oven. Oh, I thought you were going over there. I was like, no, come over here.
You still not worked out the.
No, I don't think we will be able to. I'll just show people that you're here. Oh, just squinting. I'm just getting people to tell us what they're eating.
What are people eating? Well, I mean, I'm not allowed to look at comments anyway, so it doesn't really.
No, well, you don't focus on anything other than that, though. Trickster's Brain says I started reading Lady Chatterley's Lover too early because my mum had let me loose on the classic shelf. Oh, this is good. There's people telling me what adult books they read as children because they'd run out of books on holiday or whatever. Jennifer said my first adult book was a Clive Cussler when I ran out of books on holiday. It was my dad's. I do remember them being, I mean, they were sort of like adventure stories really, weren't there? I remember there being some sort of like heavy petting or sort of suggestions of shagging. But I don't think I really... Oh, there's an ambulance. I don't think I really knew what was going on. Caroline said mushroom risotto, currently cooking while watching.
Do you think any kids do that today, but with like 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh God, I hope not. Oh God, that's, yeah. And I remember my nan had a selection of Mills and Boon's books in her spare room, which is
filthy.
Yeah, they're romances. I don't know if they're super filthy. They might be different now, but like it was all very. It was more sort of passionate rather than like explicit details about
Fingering.
appendages and fingering. Unintentional minimalist said, I just had some roasted peppers and sweet potato with salad. That sounds lovely. Shower said, oh, I've lost you. Had a Picky Bits tea and a tub of Nutella on the side for later. David, would that be your dream?
What are you dipping into that Nutella?
How is the Nutella being consumed, please?
Just with a hot spoon?
Hot spoon. British Bookworm says, I love that all dads seem to read the same authors. Yeah, what was the other one? Clive Cussler and... What's the other sort of like dad book? Tom Clancy. Yes, well done. Yeah, my dad used to get some of those. And British Bookworm eating Greek flatbreads, lovely. Sorry you're having to listen to me eat, but such is the way. Beth says, I'm having a giant cheddar and chive biscuit or muffin and a Dr. Pepper Zero, David. Is that what you've got?
I've got one in the fridge.
He's got one in the fridge. Jane's had breaded fish, chips and peas. Perfect dinner. I'm going to be reading Lost Lambs. Can you hear all the birds? Oh, they stopped there. I'm reading and enjoying The Tenant of Wildfell Horses, Linda. Read that last year, loved it. Pam says, I've got Iron Brew 1901. Is that different from normal Iron Brew? And eating cheese kettle chips, chocolate buttons, and maybe some breadsticks, lovely.
No.
Carly ate about 6 p.m. I was starving. I had a rice bowl with tofu, lovely. Bess is definitely craving pizza now. Layla said, pizza and endless amounts of tea. Annika says, I'm having peach and halloumi salad. Oh my God. I had a salad at the weekend that had nectarine. It David hates peaches and nectarines.
I just think just fruit going on like a dish is weird.
No.
But I hope you enjoy it.
Peaches and nectarines and stuff are amazing. And I had a nectarine salad at the weekend and it was so good. I love nectarines, but David hates me eating them because I slurp all over the place.
I just don't really like fruit in general.
And Alfonso mango and watermelon for afters. Oh God, Annika. Lindsay has had Domino's and it was delicious.
Oh.
Jane said whole wheat pasta with roasted vegetables. That sounds lovely. All these people that can bear to put their oven on. I mean, I know we've had the oven on, but we literally like sort of barricade the kitchen and say, no one go in there. Curious Feline said nothing too risque, but I used to read my mum's Maeve Binchy, and I think that's why I loved Irish authors. Yeah. Tracy said mine was my aunt's historical romance with Fabio at 11 years old. AB Shark's having vegan steak, chips, roasted broccoli and peas. Carton said I had breaded aubergine, lovely, and salad with miso dressing and mango chutney. God, all of these dinners sound so good. Not that this isn't lovely.
Well, you put that pizza down, I'll have it.
No, I like it. It's nice pizza. Is this the whole pizza?
No, it's still 4 more slices.
Oh my God. It's endless, that pizza.
It's a big pizza.
Trickster's Brain loves the Stephen King. David's going to be reading the Stephen King tonight. Nutella with a big spoon. Nice. That's the best way.
Yeah.
Would you like that?
I
think I'm going to have to get a pillow to put this
in. I dabbled. I always have a Nutella at Christmas.
Yeah. And
I normally don't end up eating it. So I think that's how I consumed most of our last Christmas Nutella. Occasionally I just have a little spoonful.
I don't mind Nutella. I like hazelnut stuff, so she needs a bit of drink. Kate has had tofu with veg and rice. Kate's dad used to read Wilbur Smith. I do remember Wilbur Smith as well. Would you be interested in reading a Clive Cussler or a Tom Clancy, David, or a Wilbur Smith indeed?
I've never heard of Wilbur Smith.
I have heard of Wilbur Smith.
No, I don't. They're all like spies, aren't they? Like spy type books.
I think they're sort of like a bit, yeah, adventure stuff.
Yeah. No, not really.
Okay.
I've played a couple of Tom Clancy video games in the past.
Oh, they got video games.
Yeah, they made a couple, or a few, I think actually.
Beth says I also have chocolate-covered hobnobs in the freezer for later. Thanks to Philippa for the tip about the freezer. Philippa from my previous co-host of All About the Archers, which I have now left.
putting your chocolate digestives in the freezer?
Yeah, apparently it's really, really crunchy and nice.
Oh my
Yeah,
word!
I have had good. Well, I've not done it, but yeah, that was a tip that Philippa gave. Iron Brew 1901 is the very original recipe. It was made for the men working
Do you
in
want to
Glasgow.
take a scoop of dippy dip?
Oh Jesus! Jalapeno cream cheese dip. It's very good. Very good indeed. Can you hear the singing at the church going on, David?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I thought it was your radio in the shower, and I was like, my God, he's got that on
My
there.
God, he can sing.
Carly's with you, David. No fruit and savoury meals, especially salad.
No, I mean just no fruit in general for me, really.
You like grapes?
Yeah, but like, I mean, I wouldn't really say that's me liking fruit. I would never opt for a. I'd rather have a nice Brussels sprout or bit of cucumber. I suppose isn't cucumber a fruit though? So yeah, I think that's what they say, isn't it? Because it's got seeds in it.
I have heard rumours of cucumber being considered a fruit. Cauliflower and chickpea curry for Lauren. Bookish Evie says, the heat has spoiled my appetite, but I've got a tub of coffee ice cream waiting for me later. I wonder now that I like coffee, how I would feel about a coffee ice cream. Well, I mean, I only like chilled coffee, but...
Well, when we went to that walk, didn't that woman offer to put ice cream in your iced coffee?
It was fizzy milk. It was that horrible cream.
Oh, whipped cream. Oh, yeah, lovely.
Birgit says, I'm an hour ahead of you, so I've already eaten a curry and brushed my teeth. But now I want to dive into my birthday chocolate. Should I?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you should.
Simple question, simple answer.
Yes. Kylie says, pizza looks great. Where's it from? Oh, God, I was going to show you the box. Is the box in the bin?
Oh, yeah.
It's a really, really good one from Marks and Spencer's. What's it called?
It's like, I can't remember the name, it's like Detroit style. It's in a really cool, like, it's a very, like, American looking box.
With like a cartoon pizza on the front.
Yeah. They do that, they do like
it's £7.50, but it goes a long way.
Yeah. And I'd rather have this than probably a takeaway pizza.
You don't mean that.
I don't mean that. There's a lie! But it is delicious. And it's quite, the base is quite thick because it's a Detroit style pizza.
And it's got like a nice pesto across it. It's really nice.
Yeah.
We got them, so they're £7.50, but when we went into Marks and Spencer's specifically to get that pizza last weekend, they were reduced to £2.55, so we got two. And we cooked both of them that night, and we had one, like we said, we've got 4 slices each now and 4 slices out there. And we ate one night, and then took the next one to the beach, and had a lovely time at the beach.
It was really nice.
Lovely, lovely. Roxana says it's 22 degrees. Oh, 22 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I can't wait to read again rather than talk food. You can go ahead and read if you like. Evie says I get my coffee ice cream from Aldi. It's lush. I'll have to try that. I really rate Aldi. Great stuff. Pam says, Lauren, your face when David said he'd prefer this pizza to a takeaway. This pizza is delicious, but I just knew that wasn't true.
No, I don't know why I said it. I'm overexcited. I'm all adrenalised.
So tell us how football was.
Football was good. There was only 7 of us, which is not many.
Was Chris there?
Yeah, Chris was there. So we just set up 2 little goals, and then we had a team of 3 and a team of 4. But the team of 4 had a goalkeeper, and then whenever someone scored the goal, so the goalkeeper who was kind of running the show, Trevor, he just moved between each goal. But yeah, it was good.
Did you score many goals?
I scored a few, but like sometimes there wasn't even a goalkeeper, but so it was more about like just trying to pass and then create some space. You know, it's not like whereas if there was a goalkeeper, you might have a shot from a few yards out if you had nothing else on. But here it was more about just passing the ball and getting into space. It was good.
Was it nice to be outside or was it hot?
It was quite nice actually. It was hot, but it didn't feel too bad. But once you get in it, you're kind of concentrating, so you almost don't really think about the heat. And then there was obviously I'm happy to come home and join this, but there was a we had to be off we had to be off at about 10 to 7, because there was another cup final.
Oh.
So I mean, on another night I might have stayed and watched a bit of it, but I had to get back for this little shindig.
I'm going quite hot all of a sudden. Well, that sounds lovely. And you're pleased it's back on a Friday?
Yes. That's good. Although I won't be able to do it next Friday, so.
Oh yeah. Well, that's nice. Back to the comments though. Sally says, Lauren, I know you're having a break from blogging. I am, but are you still going to post book reviews on Instagram? I'm not. It's a complete break. It's a complete break from sort of reporting on my reading. Because I've basically spoken about almost every single book that I've read since I've been doing this booktube channel, which has been over 10 years now. 10 years. So yeah, it's a 3-month break from sort of reporting on anything. I imagine when I get back, one of the videos I will do, I don't want to commit to this, but I imagine what I will do is when I get back, I'll talk about the best books that I've read over the summer. And I'm still going to log my books on Storygraph so that I'm able to go back, but I don't think I'm going to give things a star rating unless it's like a 5-star, because that will also take the pressure off that way. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Well done. Annie says, is this what a healthy relationship looks like? Oh, Annie. I mean, we're a very healthy relationship, aren't we? Come over here and hold my hand so we can see it on screen. Come here! That's very kind, Annie. But yeah. Linda says, Linda's got the right idea. And this is what we do, Linda. Linda's making homemade pesto from the basil plant, so they don't need to heat in the kitchen. It's 34 degrees there in Florida.
I love Florida.
So yeah, that's what we tend to.
I love homemade pesto.
Yeah, we think of some dinners that
homemade pesto is the bomb.
That don't involve much in the way of oven or hob. Hob makes it really hot as well.
How was the Ocado delivery? Did you feel the expense from an Ocado compared to when we normally get a Tesco?
Well, there wasn't much.
There wasn't much, was there?
He said to me, I said, oh, I didn't know we got bags. He said, oh, well, if you give them back to me next time, you get your money back. I mean, it was 70p, wasn't it? But
yeah,
it's more than we wouldn't have got.
And it's only because I got a 30% off deal, so we probably won't be using them again.
Yeah, some nice looking stuff.
And that pizza.
But I think the truth of the matter is that if we're buying from Marks and Spencer or Waitrose, I like to go and browse.
Yeah, I agree.
Lauren says, I absolutely love Cosy Reader Nights. They really remind me of lockdown, a sense of community. Yeah, I do.
Absolutely, they do.
And Emily says, I've had chicken and mushroom balti and rice. Amy says that Ocado price match against Tesco. And Pam says you can't get Ocado in Scotland, so they can get in the bin. Girl Fridays in Norway, it's only 21 degrees. And if Tesco's cheaper, you get your money off, apparently. Right, okay, what I think we're going to do is...
Let's read now.
So I think we are going to read now, because I can read and eat, but you can't. So I think I'm just going to put it on you, just while I finish off reading and eating. God, you're so hot. I can't have you. So, if David, you just want to get your book and explain what you're reading. And then I think we'll read till 8:30.
Now that I'm the booktuber of the family, because someone's taking a break, I'm reading Stephen King's, my second Stephen King novel of the year, and I'm reading Stephen King's Cell. And it is about a guy called Clay, and he's just having his lunch in
America.
Somewhere in America, I can't quite remember. It's all gone out of my head. And he's watching someone on the phone, and all of a sudden the person on the phone, they start like attacking each other and killing each other, and it all just goes a bit balmy. So it's something to do with the mobile phones, and I'm not too far from the finishing now. I think I've got less than 100 pages left, and so we're now starting to come to the conclusion of finding out what's happening, and there's a bit of sci-fi. There's a bit of, like a very loose horror. It's quite gory. It's quite grim and gory to read. But yeah, it's I'm intrigued to find out what's going to happen. There was times at the start where I was struggling with this, and I nearly gave it up. But I'm glad I persevered, and I'm enjoying it now, and I'm desperate to find out the conclusion. And it's got some sad moments as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't see any comments, so
No, you can't. There's a few people saying that they a colleague of theirs at their old workplace loved Cell by Stephen King.
oh, cool.
Sally said, David, I'm reading The Stand by Stephen King. It's pretty good, but it is a monster of a book. 1,331 pages.
Whoa! I'm reading a lot more this year. I'm not ready for a book like that because this is like 450 pages, and this is a big book to me. Although the Institute was bigger, I think.
Yeah, Pam's also said I've read Under the Dome by Stephen King, and it's great. There's a chapter of Under the Dome.
There is a chapter of Under the Dome here, and that does sound right up my street. So I am going to take a break from Stephen King novels. I try and leave it a couple of books, but I think Under the Dome is definitely going to be up there with me wanting to read. But I'd also quite like to read Carrie, his first one.
There you go. Yeah. Right, okay, so we're going to read now until 1:30.
I was mimicking.
Oh, you were pretending to be me. There we go. So in we go. 19 minutes worth of reading. Good luck. No. No. Could you put that on there? Oh, thank you.
Do you not want any more pizza?
No, I'm really full.
I'm going to take some bits out in a minute, so I don't know if you want to swing the...
I will when you've got to the end of it. We've just reached 8:30, friends. So we are now halfway through Cosy Reader Night. I mean, I think we've only done 35 minutes of reading, but we'll fit in another session before 9 o'clock, I promise. There's a few bits here about Stephen King, which I will we'll talk about when David's back. I think he's just gone to get, he took some plates out and he's gone to get some drinks and stuff. But Unintentional Minimalist has mentioned that they're moving on to fiction and they're currently reading Capital by John Lanchester. Now, I had never heard of John Lanchester, but I this morning finished Look What You Made Me Do, which is his newest book. And I absolutely loved it. It was absolutely brilliant. I was drawn to it because, well, the front cover is amazing, but also on my library, you can have a look at books that are being published the following month. And often I just have a little look through there. Don't even read any blurbs, just look at the front cover, judging a book by its front cover, and pick out books from there that I want to read. And that's how I came across that book. And yeah, I've just read it and had a brilliant time. But all over the front is like praise for Capital and John Lanchester, author of Capital. So if it's worth reading, then I definitely will do that. I've got a few Stephen King little
Questions?
not questions, just sort of observations.
Facts, observations.
So Girl Friday has said you should watch the movie A Good Marriage. Stephen King wrote it.
Oh, all right.
And
backlight there.
Sally has said, isn't there a Simpsons episode based on Under the Dome? And you're quite into the Simpsons.
I vaguely remember there is. Yeah, I think it's the movie.
She said Simpsons episode / film.
Yeah, I think the movie is. They are under a dome, aren't they? They are making a second Simpsons movie.
I've never seen the Simpsons movie. I'm not a big Simpsons fan.
Well,
I think I've got like a cut in between my toes or something. It's really sore. Do you just have a little cut? But pull it apart very carefully.
Oh, does it like there's something in there? I can't.
Have a little look.
Just a little torch on there.
Something felt very sore.
Yes, you look like you've got a bit of
like a cut or something.
Well, there's a lot of dead skin in there.
How gorgeous!
So.
Oh no! I wonder how I do that. I need to get some antiseptic cream or something in there. That's an awkward place to have a cut, right in between your two middle toes.
Your tootsies.
Your two middle toes, not my two middle toes. JAD has said I read Fairy Tale by Stephen King earlier this year. Loved it actually.
Oh,
that's another.
I mean, yeah, there's very little books I know of Stephen King, so.
Emily said, David, I can't read Stephen King. Scared it would frighten me.
You know what,
but you haven't been frightened.
I haven't been frightened, and let me tell you, I am a wuss.
He's easily frightened.
I'm easily frightened.
I think a lot of the sort of front covers and hype around the books are more frightening than the actual book.
This feels more like a not a horror, but almost just like, I mean, I think now, like, this probably does sound a bit probably scarier, but I mean, I can move in a little bit. It feels like this could happen. I mean, obviously, I don't know what the conclusion is, but like people being like infected through like some sort of weird phone thing doesn't sound that crazy to me. Whereas probably when you read it, it did sound a bit crazy.
I remember, isn't it in the Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the bit where they have like a piss take of it. Jason Segel's character answers the phone and goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Pam says, I think the Simpsons movie used the Under a Dome theme, but it's different, so don't worry. It's just using the dome idea. It's not spoiled the book. Jenny Guinevere says, hello everyone, arriving late but happy to be here. Hello. And JAD said, I'd actually recommend Fairy Tale for those who don't like the normal Stephen King because it's more adventure or thriller, not scary.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, Carly's just told me that I could have athlete's foot. Do I need to go to the doctors for that? I can just go to, I can't actually see it in there because my massive meat head is in the way of the light. Yeah, I can't see anything from here.
Let me shine.
I don't want the people here to see. Oh, it's not a lot of dead skin. It's a bit pink in there.
A bit pink, and there is dead skin.
Gorgeous. Right, I'm going to take my foot to the toilet and to make myself a drink. Oh, there we go. Emma said, I've read a lot of Stephen King and would also recommend Fairy Tale. And you can get stuff in the chemist for athlete's foot. Pharmacy will be able to help with athlete's foot. Lovely stuff. Right, so David, would you like to
Hey-oh, he's in charge.
Just while I go and
Get to
have
the
a
toilet.
wee and
I mean,
get a
I could have
drink.
made you a drink. Sorry, I should have asked.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
I don't know if you want to talk about what films you've watched recently.
I can do. I need my phone because I can never remember what films I've watched recently because I'm terrible with my memory. Name Stephen
BRB.
King's. BRB. Movies I've watched recently, everyone. Oh, I might need to bring the laptop closer because I cannot see from that far away. Yeah, okay. So I'll have a little. I'll keep an eye out for Fairy Tale and add that to my list. But I definitely will be reading Under the Dome. And as I said, I would like to read Carrie. I might make Carrie next. My next read. I'm not quite sure. And also because of like Shawshank Redemption is obviously a fantastic film. But I know that's Stephen King, but it's one of his. But it's a short book, isn't it? It's a short story. But I'd like to. I mean, I don't think I never thought I'd ever be a fan of short stories, but I suppose I'd be willing to give it a go. Yeah. Hold on, I'm just getting me what films I've seen recently. Oh, we watched Send Help, the Rachel McAdams one, and Dylan O'Brien, the one where they're stranded on a there's a plane crash and they have to survive and they end up kind of fighting each other and trying to essentially kill one another and it's very good, very good. It had a couple of jumpy moments, but it was very, very gory. And apologies, we were eating dinner. I won't go into much detail, but there's quite a lot of vomit in there as well. We watched The Christophers, which was Ian McKellen and Michaela Cole, and about art. Laura liked it. I found it fine. Um, we watched one of Lauren's childhood favourite films in Ella Enchanted, which it was terrible, but it was quite good fun to watch. Yeah, a Tuna. Tuna seems to be very popular. The one about the guy who's got very sensitive hearing and can hear. So he's a piano tuner, and it turns out that he can unlock safes. So a couple of
Tuna.
Gangsters.
That was a surprise.
I don't even know gangsters is the word, but like just like dodgy peeps get him to help out, and then it all turns a bit sinister. That's enough of that.
No, you can carry on, but like you're better at interacting
That's
if
right.
I feed
I
it
was
to
I
you.
was just trying to keep on talking. I don't even know if anything what I was saying was interesting,
okay.
but yeah, I was just trying not to leave much silence.
Also, Unintentional Minimalist says, I love a Stephen King movie adaptation, but can't read him. It's too waffly for me.
I did find The Institute, didn't find it waffly at all. I instantly fell in love with this. I think I agree there are elements of waffliness.
You instantly fell in love with The
about this.
Institute?
Yes, sorry,
you said
yeah.
this.
But yeah, but I did find this a bit whiffly waffly.
Wiffly waffly.
Yeah, and I think there was times that I was willing to give this up.
Yeah,
and also
there have
I
been.
remember the first 50 pages was so like intense, and then it just and I needed it to slow down, and I didn't think it was going to slow down. That also like it was quite exhausting to read.
Paula has asked, says, sorry I'm a bit late. Don't be sorry, Paula. Have you watched The Magic Faraway Train?
No, we was trying to go with our niece.
We got stood up by our niece.
We kept her saying, "Do you want to go?" She was like, "Yep."
No.
And then
and then when it actually
and
came
then when it comes to actually like let's
to
book
shitting or
tickets.
getting off the pot,
and she was like, "No, I don't want to sit now,"
Yeah.
and it was too late.
she's
And
very frightened of being frightened at the
Mm.
cinema. I think it's quite intimidating for young people, isn't it, to go and sit in a dark room and everything's a bit loud.
Yeah.
For a girl who doesn't even like a hand dryer.
No. And then the only other timings were just timings that we couldn't really go and watch. So
we will watch it. It's a shame because my cousin Laura went to see it and she said to see it on the big screen is such a treat because it's so fantastical.
But
So
we'll watch it when it comes out. I don't know who like produced it. I don't think it was Disney, but I'm sure they're never far away from a streaming services nowadays.
And Paula has also said, I was so scared it was going to spoil the book, but it was fantastic. Francesca said, reading The Paying Guest by Sarah Waters, one of my favourites. When are we due a new Sarah Waters books? Have you asked her?
Who's Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah.
I've asked her a couple of times.
What did she say?
She
She's
said,
researching it.
She said, "Shut up! I'm researching it."
Yeah, I bet she did say that. Yeah. We're all desperate for a new Sarah Waters book. The Paying Guest was the last Sarah Waters book, and I think that was 2019. Yeah, we're all due one. It's not fair. Come on, give us a new one. Although I got the same sort of feeling, not as well written, still very good, as I get from the Sarah Waters books from when I read the Single Thread by Tracy Chevalier. Annika says, I saw an advert yesterday that Magic Faraway Tree is already available to rent or buy.
Yeah, probably.
You're not looking at the screen, are you, David? You're not spending all your time looking at the screen, are you?
A little peep.
And Pam says, I just said that at the same time. Come on, Sarah. Come on, Sarah. Do you want to ring her now?
I'll ring her. I'll message her.
Yeah, message her and find out.
I'll send her a DM.
Just DM her.
UK hun, where's the book?
I thought you were going to say a BBM. Do you remember that?
No, what's it?
Blackberry Messenger?
I never had a Blackberry.
No, nor did I. I felt a bit left out. Because somebody I fancied had a Blackberry, and I remember thinking, God, yeah, if I had BBM, I could have wrangled him in.
Yeah.
But it worked out all right anyway, because I married you in the end.
Actually, why do you want me to get a Blackberry?
No, aren't they absolutely kaput now?
They are kaput.
Absolutely kaputo. Danielle was saying, yes, she used to publish a book pretty much every 2 years. Where has Sarah gone? Also, Donna Tartt usually publishes every 10 years, and she's gone missing.
10 years?
All these people that write great
books.
Waiting
around for that.
Well, just because not everyone reads Stephen King, who brings out a book every 6 months, it feels like. Look at that.
That's not even all of them.
And this book was published, I don't even know when this copy came out, 2011. So it's been 15 years since this. So there'll be loads more.
But I haven't got to wait around though, have I?
No, there's just an endless
Constant
amount.
stream.
The British Bookworm was saying I would sell a kidney for a new Sarah Waters or Donna Tartt. There we go. That's how desperate we all are for it.
I'll let her know.
Are you in contact with Donna still?
Well, a couple of times.
A couple of times a year?
Yeah. But
I'll let Christmas?
Yeah, I'll let them know people are willing to sell body parts for books.
Oh, Trickster's Brain has said King's publishing schedule is crucial to my Christmas gift purchasing for my dad.
Nice.
What if your dad would like a Stephen King? No, we just don't know. Right, okay, it's just before 8:45. I did say we'd fit in another one before 9, so shall we go until 9? I'll focus on me, David, so that it's not focused on your crotch, for instance. Yeah, let's
crotch
go.
Cam.
Let's go. Does it feel a little bit like we're on Spring Watch and then we're focusing now on my nest?
Yeah,
and then we were focusing on your nest. Let's read until 9. So we've got 18 minutes. Get off that phone.
Sorry.
Get off that phone. Oh, they're really going for it, aren't they?
Since I'm doing Elvis Has Risen. It's a dead fox.
It's driving away.
Oh, it
Let me in
just
your
come to
tent
tease you.
box.
Those two lads never walk together. Always one is always really far ahead of the other.
Shouting at each other. Shouting children.
Mm.
You got enough light, David?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock and all's well. Except the lighting is now mad, but that's it. That's the lighting. Is he just popping his little bookmark in? How many pages have you got till the end?
Probably about 60 something now. Getting there.
Go. Jennifer said, I'm back. Just spent the last 10 minutes encouraging a bee outside. It kept getting in between the books on our bookshelves. I kept saying to my mum, we have to save it. The bees are dying. No, I saw a dead bee in the car park today. Sad. Jenny Guinevere said, I didn't share what I'm reading. I've just started Who Wants Normal? Life Lessons from Disabled Women by Frances Ryan. Very interesting. How are you?
All right.
Good. I thought I might use this as an opportunity to ask people what their reading plans are for the summer, seeing as we won't be checking in with each other until September now.
September.
So, yeah, let me know if you've got reading plans for the summer, if there's a book that you've been holding off on reading, or if there's particular books you like to read in the summer, if you've got a holiday planned and a book that you want to take away on holiday with you. David, plans for reading for the summer?
I'd like to read that.
Is this your 7th book?
Is it my 7th book?
I can't remember. It's on my Instagram stories. That's how I think it's yours. I think that's your 7th.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'd like to read that. Sorry, let me scooch in. I'd like to read that book that you read, the one about travelling around America.
That's actually your book.
Yeah, I know it's my book. So I probably would read that
from
next.
Peach Street to Lobster Lane.
That's the one. And then I don't know what next. Like I would like to read a couple of some. I'd like to find maybe like a coming of age book for the summer. Would be quite nice. I've probably got something similar.
Yeah, I read
within everything that I've read. Or everything that I have.
Miseducation of Cameron Post. It's about her going away to summer camp and realising that she is queer. They made that into a film with Chloe Moretz. That's quite a good coming of age summary book.
Is it funny?
No,
I
think it's like quite depressing.
Well, no, then I want something like summery, like a bit maybe a bit cheeky.
Bit cheeky? What sort of thing?
I'm just trying to think of like a coming of age summer movie
that's a bit cheeky. Nice. So he'll be moving on to his 8th book, I think, maybe. If anyone wants to go onto my Instagram stories, I can't because we're looking at this phone, and have a look at the highlight on my Instagram stories of David's reading. It's a highlight. And I'm sure the last book that you read was your 6th book, so this will be your 7th.
Wow.
But yeah, aren't you doing amazing?
Yeah, for me, this is. I mean,
have you been enjoying it?
Yes. Yeah, I do like reading a bit more.
So nice. He just doesn't even have to be prompted now. He just gets into bed and reads a little chapter before he goes to bed at night. And us doing our pledging has really, really helped, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's see what people's reading plans are for the summer. Yeah.
Do you want a Whisper Gold?
No, I don't. Did you buy me a Whisper Gold? That's very kind, but I don't think I do. I'm full to the brim. Yeah.
I am going to go and wrap the rest of the pizza slices up.
I will report back. Do you know what? Yeah. I might have to put a bit of actual light on the subject. Alexa, turn on reading lamp.
I'll pull this down a
little bit.
That's better.
That's better. It's still dark, but it's better. Unintentional Minimalist said, I have 0 plans other than to buy and read lots of books. That sounds like a plan to me. Pam says, I want to read the Wool trilogy by Hugh Howey before the new season of the show on Apple TV. Yes, I have seen that. And maybe 3 Body Problem. Trickster's Brain says, thrilled that I didn't have to start The Will of the Many again. I've remembered it. I want to read Mansfield Park, The Names by Florence Knapp. I've got that. That's the book we're reading for Choir Book Club. I've got to have that read by maybe the end of June. And Project Hail Mary this summer. Yeah, the plan was that I wanted to read Project Hail Mary before we watched the film, but I didn't get round to it. But the film was bloody brilliant, and I loved The Martian. It's the first audiobook I ever listened to, and it was so good. So I imagine that would be great. Jenny said, I have a silly ongoing project from when I was a teenager and read The Bell Jar on a beach in Italy, where I once read Cheery Beach Read, where I read Cheery Beach Reads, aka absolutely not Cheery Beach Reads. That's great. What else counts as a not Cheery Beach Read aside from The Bell Jar? But yeah, that's a great project. Lindsay said, I need recommendations for a pretentious airport read. Last year I read Intermezzo on a plane. Oh, great. Well, this is spoiling my Sunday video, which talks about the books that I've read in May, but I read 3 books in May that I would definitely recommend as holiday reads. The first one is London Falling by Patrick Radden Keefe. I just think it's, all of these books are really page-turny books that you could, like, you don't want to put down, but you could and pick up and just feel straight back into it. So London Falling by Patrick Radden Keefe, Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke, and Look What You Made Me Do by John Lanchester. So if you can get a nice version of that at the airport, then I would definitely recommend that. Amy's saying, David, you should read a book on football for the World Cup. Oh, yeah. Oh, I did say maybe he would want to read Fever Pitch, which is a Nick Hornby book about football at some point. Kylie says, so many books, so little time. Annika says, last year I wanted to read in the garden as much as possible after work, and I intend to do that again. That is a great thing to have to say you're going to do. Pam said, I do want to read Yesteryear too, and a new release called Off Season. Cool. Sue said, I'd like to read more fantasy, maybe give a chance to Robin Hobb, then I'm hoping to read Fame Sick, Orlando, Anna Karenina. I'm looking forward to the new releases Girls, Girls, and The Housekeeper. Oh, and Jill said the name's wonderful. Somebody said, would you read a book about football? Like Gary Lineker's autobiography. I don't know. Like a book. Oh, that little cut in my tootsies.
I don't know.
Fever Pitch. Have you heard about Fever Pitch?
I've heard about Fever Pitch. It's the Arsenal. It was a film made into a film, was it, with Colin Firth?
It's a Nick Hornby book, and yeah, made into a film.
I would probably read that. I'm sure that's probably quite a nice book
I really like Nick Hornby. I haven't read one of his for a long time, but he was one of my sort of go-to authors that I always used to have a great time with. So maybe Fever Pitch would be great, and then we could watch them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd read a footballer's autobiography. I suppose I would have to.
Is there anyone you really love?
I would probably read Frank Lampard's autobiography because I really like Frank Lampard.
He's a very clever man, isn't he?
He's a very clever man.
Has he got an autobiography?
I'm not as far as I'm aware, but he's still living his life. I would have thought he would write an autobiography at some point.
Dawn Liz says, I'm hoping to read The Elements of Marie Curie by David Sobel. The weather and work stress means I haven't got the concentration at the moment, but I'm hoping things settle and I can read it. Dawn, I understand. Hope things start looking up for you soon. Amanda says, do you have a summer reading list listed somewhere? I don't, no. But I was thinking of doing an Instagram post, but look, here I am creating bookish work for myself over the summer when I'm not supposed to be doing that. No. Jenny says, one of those being Said the Dead by Doreen Ni Eufra. Thank you for the pronunciation. About the residences of the now derelict Cork Mental Hospital. Oh, that sounds great. Kirsty says, I want to read the latest Richard Coles and Richard Osman's, all the Richards, paperbacks, plus random autobiographies and Agatha Christie's.
What's Reverend Richard Coles?
Yeah, so I've only, weirdly, when we were looking back through Christmas stuff today, because that's what we've been doing to raise morale in the hot weather, Reverend Richard Coles has a series of books. I can't think of the name of the but it's a religious series. Canon Clement, I think his name is. Canon is like saying reverend or something. Mm-hmm. And he investigates murders and stuff like that. And I think it's supposed to be quite sort of parishy and cute and quaint and stuff. I've listened to the Christmas one, which was only about 3 hours long, and it's all set over this Christmas dinner. And sort of like builds up to it. And I really enjoyed it. And after I read it 2 Christmases ago, I thought, I'm going to read the rest of those series. And I've got one on my Kindle, the first one, which is called Murder at Evensong. And I still haven't got around to it, but I've heard very good things. And I find him hilarious and charming.
He's a very lovely man.
So I imagine I would be very into those. So, yeah, maybe we will get around to those. Alison said, just came in, love the mood lighting. Jane says, I need to finish the Walter Scott shortlist and then I have no plans except read depending on my mood. That's what I want to do. I'm also listening to The Haunts of Men by Susan Hill and plan to continue the series. Unintentional Minimalist just said, oh, it just reminded me and my daughter are spending the rest of the year and early spring of next year rereading all the Bronte books before taking a trip to Haworth. Beautiful. Sue says, if you're after a memoir that is about TV fame and cults, I'd recommend Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz from One Tree Hill. It was a good read. Very interesting. Oh, and Jenny says, Yesteryear I think also probably counts as a cheery, not beach read, yeah. Lindsay says, I'm hoping I can get Yesteryear at the airport because they sometimes do weirdly sized paperbacks only at the airport. Lindsay, I've literally been talking about that in my video today because when I've been at airports, particularly airports in Ireland, they do really lovely big floppy
Oh,
paperbacks. So like even new books, so like the new books that I've read,
yeah.
they come out in these lovely big floppy.
Oh,
They're like airport books, but because we never fly anywhere,
no.
I never get to expect it. Like I mean, the only places we've flown to in the last 10 years has been Ireland. So yeah, but yeah, very good floppy paperbacks. Pam says, "Oh, I sat
And
next."
Scotland.
Yeah, but we didn't get the. Oh, did you flew to? Oh yeah, we did go to Scotland.
Did fly to Scotland.
Yeah.
Was
Will
the
you be
Queen
flying
there
to
that
Scotland?
day?
Yeah, I think so.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Will you be flying to Scotland at any point this summer?
No.
To get me some big floppy paperbacks.
I can ask work and say, guys, can we do a shoot in Scotland?
My
Because
wife wants
my
a big
wife
floppy
needs some big
paperback.
floppy paperbacks.
Never mind. Pam says, I sat next to Frank Lampard when Rangers were in the Europa League final in Manchester.
Oh, that's cool.
Very good.
What was he doing in Manchester, eh? New job.
And AB Shark says, Lampard manages Coventry, who have just been promoted.
Correct.
Jane says, how about Munich's by David Pearce for a football book based around the Munich air crash?
Oh.
I don't know anything about that. What's the Munich air crash?
So it's the Manchester United team. In the, correct me if I'm wrong, like in the 60s, and like they had a very, very good team, and like they all died.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's insane.
God. Wow.
Mm.
Well, there we go. A recommendation for you then.
Yeah, that maybe not like that's a book that I would be interested in reading. Maybe not for like a summertime, but that would be a very interesting book.
Julie says, I do the same thing, Lindsay. Love a good airport paperback when the book isn't out yet in paperback. Yeah.
We need to start flying.
Might be worth flying somewhere. We did say we wanted to go to Ireland next year, didn't we?
Back to Ireland.
Karen Moore says, I'm going to read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. You will have a wonderful time with that. It's a great, great book for
How
summer.
do you know?
I know. I wonder how many times I've read it. Definitely over 10.
Wow.
The audiobook's very good. Would you ever read it?
No,
I think
I've
it might
seen
be a bit dry for you.
Dry shite.
It takes a bit of time to get into. I would definitely not say it's dry shite.
And I've seen the film.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
It's a big book for Big Book Summer. Over 400 pages, and it's the next one in my project to read all of Daphne du Maurier's book in publication order. Oh, go for you, Karen.
Have you read all of Daphne's?
No, I've still got a few. I'm hanging on to them, David, because then when they're done, they're done. She's dead, she ain't bringing out anymore.
I like the other two, Lazy Bones.
What are their names?
Sarah and Donna.
Yes, we're done. Do you know their last names?
No, not a clue.
Yeah, Sarah and Donna. Well
I can't. Yeah, well that's
done.
impressive that I remember them.
Pam said it was years ago that she sat next to Frank Lampard. He's a bit of a Rangers fan. I think he was at the games a lot. Same with Robbie Fowler.
Yes.
Mary says The Damned United is a great book about footy. Brian Clough was what we used to call a character.
He was great. I watched the Damn United movie earlier this year.
If you've watched the movie, does that automatically mean you're never going to read the book?
Not always, but I feel like it would have to be a 5-starer for me to want to even consider reading the book. And The Damn United was very good because I love a sports film, and it was definitely a different style of sports film, which I found interesting. But it wasn't a 5-starer for me. But it was very good. It was fun seeing lots of young British, because it's quite old now. Lots of like Stephen Graham was in it. All those like young boys. Well, not young boys, but footballers.
Alfred says 0 reading plans, just to use the library more. Great plan. Alison said, doesn't the film end slightly differently?
What film we're talking about?
I don't know. I think maybe The Damned United, maybe Fever Pitch. Who knows?
Don't know.
One of those. Lindsay says, I'm going to Paris. Oh, lovely. So hoping to get the new I was just about to say you should read that. Kieran Milburn Hargrave in big floppy paperback. I think the book is set in Paris. Yeah, it is. I was sent a proof copy of it, which is in paperback. Oh.
It's a shame
here.
You didn't. If I'd have known about these big floppy paperbacks, we could have got them in Dad when he used to work at Gatwick to get
Yeah,
a load.
that's true. Yeah, I've got this. So I was delighted when they sent me a proof of this, because I was like, that means I don't need to get, because sometimes they then follow up and say, do you want the published copy of that? And I'm like, nope, I don't need the book. No. I'm always go for paperbacks.
It does seem mad. So like I get the vibe from this group that hardbacks are stupid
I think hardbacks are stupid. I can't read hardbacks in the bath.
Makes you think, why do people bother with hardbacks?
Because of money. And also they come out first in that. So if you're waiting for the next book in a series or a new release by a favourite author, you're like, give me it. Like
yeah, but
Sarah
what I mean
or
is
Donna,
just like, just scrap hardbacks, just go for paperbacks.
Yeah, but
Surely that's got to be better for the environment.
I think it probably is better than for the environment, but the margins you can charge. I mean, how much are? I mean, this was released. So this is $12.99. That's a cheap one. When I was looking, some of the ones that were on the Women's Prize for non-fiction, they were like 25, 30 quid for hardbacks.
Oh my god!
And then that was published 15 years ago.
$2.99.
Isn't it $2.99? I mean, paperbacks aren't cheap anymore, but like it's definitely a money thing.
Well, can we campaign?
Let's campaign against hardbacks.
I'll speak to Donna and Sarah.
Annika says, I'd recommend going to Galway during the International Arts Festival. Went in 2023, loved it. Also had Ireland's #1 pizza restaurant. We would be interested in going to Ireland's #1 pizza restaurant.
An Irish band.
Oh yeah.
With an English band.
Cute. Yeah. We've got friends in Ireland, and whenever we go, we haven't got friends in Galway actually. I don't know anyone from Galway.
Oh. Blimey.
But when we've been and gone to a wedding, but also done stop-offs around the place and stuff like that, and that's always been really, really lovely.
But I'm sure one of your friends would know someone.
Oh my god, for sure! I remember when I lived with my friend Nee, who is Irish. Exactly I was at an interview for. Do you know I'm going to say this?
Yeah,
I went for an interview to be cabin crew for EasyJet, and while I was there was a girl there, and she said she's from a place called Offaly, which is in Burr, or the other way around, because they used to say it's awfully cold in Burr. And I said to her, oh, I know someone from Offaly. And I said, oh, I doubt you'll know him. I mentioned it. She was like, yeah, I know him. They just know it. Like, it's just such a small place.
They know everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows everyone. Lovely. Heidi says, I'm going to read The Outrun by Amy Liptrot. Great. And the film is brilliant. And I'd like to reread Juno Dawson's Gender Games. That's been a long time since I visited that. For non-fiction prompts. Lovely. Annika says, Lauren, do you have to read a book before watching a film or vice versa? I don't mind so much anymore. Often, I have read the book. So it doesn't happen very often that I'm seeing a film that I haven't read the book of, just because often, like, I read a lot, don't I? So quite often. And if a book has been adapted into a film, it's probably because it's a popular book, so chances are I've read it. So but I am one of those awful people who I'm like, actually the book in the book it's a bit different.
The book is in more detail. I do wish that I would have read, and I will read this, even though I've seen the film Project Hail Mary. I wish I would have read it first or listened to the audio book.
Somebody mentioned that they're reading that over the summer, and I said that it was my plan.
Maybe I should read that over the summer, because I absolutely love the film. I'd like to watch it again, really.
Yeah, well, actually, that would probably, if you read that would coincide. That would be a great summer book. Yeah. That would coincide with you. Then you could watch the film once you watched it. Alison was actually talking about the film Rebecca, saying that the ending is different. It's been a long, long time since we've seen the old. What's that name of that horrible pervert man who was a
and
what is his name?
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Since we've seen the Hitchcock version, we watched the newer version with Lily James during lockdown, because we used to do a thing with friends and family where we'd all pop a film on at the same time and then discuss it on WhatsApp. And one of the films we did that with was the new Rebecca.
Alfred
Hitchcock.
All I think was, all I had in my head was Anthony, and I'm like, I know it's not Anthony.
Pamela says, I'm going to listen to Juno Dawson's new book. Oh, this sounds amazing, because it's like an X Factor type competition, and they actually sing in it.
Who sings though? Is it really bad singing?
We don't know. That sounds great. Oh, that does sound great. Is it out already, Pam? Alfred, not Alfred Hitchcock, says Tony Adams' biography Addicted is a great football book.
What did I say his name was?
No, Tony Adams we're talking about. No, Alfred. Yeah, but somebody called Alfred has come.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's not Alfred Hitchcock.
Right.
Tony Adams' biography Addicted is a great football book, much more than just a football biography. Tony Adams from Strictly Come Dancing.
Tony Adams from Strictly. Yeah.
Jenny says, I mostly read on my commute, so I hate a hardback. Jane says, definitely use my library a lot more than just have to be patient sometimes if I want a particular book. Yeah, I do. I don't know if it happens with you, Jane, but my book, like I said earlier, my library have a page of books that are coming out next month. So I sometimes put reservations on those. I volunteer at my library now, so I get free reservations, which is lovely. I mean, they used to cost me £1, and I used to sort of limit myself to 10 a month. But now I can just go bonkers. But yeah, that's a very good way of getting new books in. And you have to read them because they've got so many reservations on. Like yesteryear, I had like 120 reservations. The John Lanchester has 100 reservations.
But Lauren just jumps the queue now.
No, I don't jump the queue. No, I genuinely don't jump the queue. I've got a reservation on the new Maggie O'Farrell book, Land, and I'm number like 200 and something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. They do order quite a lot of copies. If there's lots of reservations, they order a lot
And imagine
of copies.
if 100 of them read at my pace.
No, because you only get it for 3 weeks.
I thought don't you get the option to extend it though?
No, not if it's got reservations on. If it has like one reservation on, they'd be like fine, but otherwise not. Suzanne said, I'm going through a bit of a hardback loving era. Love the way they look and feel, but agree they aren't easily portable. Oh, there we go. Alison said, I've been cheating on my many unread physical books with a Kindle lately and loving it. Yeah, I've spent a bit too much time away from my Kindle, and I'm building up some 99p books on there, including Hum, which I'd like to read. That's just won the Climate Change Award. But
do you think I warrant wanting a Kindle now?
Well, I mean, you've only read one book on a Kindle once. So
no, but because I would use the Kindle if I had my own one. Now that I'm a weeder.
Now that he's a weeder. Well, maybe. Trixie's Brain said, I like a hardback small book. I do not like a large hardback. Emily says, how are you guys doing with your reading tonight or in general? Well, both, I would say. Martha says, I'm glad I watched The Other Bennett Sister before I read it because it was so different to the book. I didn't think I would have enjoyed it if I'd read it first, but this way I love both. I'm just talking about how much I loved the first 3 episodes, maybe even 4 episodes of The Other Bennett Sister, and then never got round. I read the book and loved it when we went away on holiday to Forest of Dean. Do you remember? No, it wasn't. It wasn't the Forest of Dean. It was Dartmoor. We stayed in that amazing Airbnb that I thought, Deanburn Barn. I follow it.
Yeah, lovely, but scary.
Yeah, the road down there was very, very narrow for a long time as well.
And you had to go down to the toilet in the dark.
You had to go down to the toilet in the dark, so we woke each other up.
Yeah.
God, Jesus! Now in the middle, I'm going to the toilet about 4 times.
You might as well just slept in the bathroom
because I'm drinking so much water. But I remember reading it then. But yeah, I need to get back to finishing The Other Bennett Sister because it was great. The show. Okay, the book that Juno Dawson has written about sort of the X Factor-ish called Survival Show. I am going to fucking spend a thingy on that once I've done with this, the credit on that. Annika says, this year I'm on a book buying ban, haven't broken it yet as I rely on the library. It feels sweeter than when I wait longer. Yeah, absolutely. Book buying ban. I've just been using the library so much more and I get so much more from it. And also I've noticed that there's like actual holes in my shelf now compared to when I just used to get. And I'm also much pickier about what I select from publishers now as well. Like I often think, like I would have requested, like when a publisher contacts me with like these are the books we've got coming out next month, I would often have requested like 2 or 3, and now months sometimes I don't request any because I'm like, I want these to be books that I will read, like the Kira Millwood Hargrave. Emily says, how's our reading going tonight? Well, I mean, I have read 75 pages. Do you know roughly how many pages you've read?
I think I've done about 25.
Very good. So yeah, wow. Trix's Brain says second-hand Kindles are pretty cheap apparently. Very good. Jenny says, David, you might like a tiny e-reader instead of a Kindle. I have a Books Palmer, size of a phone, and it's great for little bits of non-fiction in between things.
Oh, okay.
Did you enjoy, I've got my Kindle here, did you enjoy the sort of size and everything of this?
I did. I do question whether maybe a phone might be too small for me.
Yeah. What I will say as well is that you absolutely need one that hasn't got other stuff on it.
Yeah.
Because you will then just be like, games!
No, I don't play games.
No, or just like, browsing!
Yeah, browsing, yeah.
So you need this.
I need dedicated book.
Because I know you can get other stuff. Like my dad's got a Kindle app on his iPad, which he does use a lot to read, but he also plays
his Star Trek
games. Heidi said lots of Kindles on Vintage for cheap, so not too much of an investment. And Heidi also uses the Kindle app on my phone. Pam says I've read 20% of Pages and Co. Funnily enough, reading it on Kindle. I got mine on Prime Day with a good discount. And Emily is saying, well done, Lauren and David, for our reading. Should we have a little 10-minute sesh? It's 9:25 now. Should we go to 9:35? Let's go. 10 minutes. Can you hear the birds? It's lovely. Just leaving briefly to go to the toilet, because when you drink pints of iced coffee and water, that happens. I'm putting it on you. You're going on my husband just while I'm going for a wee. There's a very hot baby in there.
Yeah, it's hot out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's not cool in here, but it's better. That's 10 minutes done, David.
Okay, can I just have
You can.
one more minute, please?
You can have one more minute. Maybe David might want to come in a little bit. Well done, David.
Cheers.
Is it good?
Yes, yeah, I'm quite like desperate to find out
What's going on?
how it's all going to end, and do we have a meaning behind it all and blah blah blah.
So Trickster's Brain said, my trouble with accumulating new books is the Oxfam bookshop in my nearest town, which is unfortunately opposite the bus stop, so it lures me in bad weather. So when I was at university in Canterbury, they had an amazing Oxfam bookshop. It's still there, and all the books in there were £2. So if I was ever didn't have anything to do, then the bus journey from campus into town was £1, or £2 if you got a return. A book would be £2, and then if I had decided to walk in or decided to walk back, it would be more likely that I would walk in because the uni was at the top of the hill. I could then spend £2 in the Cornish Pasty Society place, and then sit in a park and read my new book that I bought for £2. Wonderful memories of the Oxfam bookshop. Wonderful memories.
We would have had very different uni lives.
We certainly would have done. We certainly would have done. Dolores and I just used to dye each other's hair every Saturday and watch X Factor and Strictly. And then occasionally we had to go out. We were very unhappy about it. We would. Annika said, I switched to a Kobo as I can connect to Libby and Overdrive. Yes, and I also saw something today. I got an email or saw something from Storygraph, which is where I log my reading, that is now compatible with Kobo. So I don't know if it can automatically update your reading, maybe. A type of Kindle, but not associated with Amazon. It's what Laura's got. Alfred said a Paperwhite and or a Kobo, reading only, no notifications. Jenny said the Books Palmer is a fun one. It has the screen of a Kindle, runs on Android, but it's super hard to browse on because it's an e-ink screen. It does mean it's easier to get library books on there as well. Yeah, there are a lot of these ones that are linked with Libby.
That's cool.
And so Kindles are, Kindle isn't. So there's a lot that are linked with. There's a Sky one as well, that something cloud.
Oh well, maybe I would like something that's not a Kindle then.
Yeah, definitely worth looking into it. I don't know if they do. So with me and my Kindle, I've got
Me and my Kindle.
I've got a wish list of over 100 books on here, and at the beginning of each month, I go through the wish list. I'll show you. So I go onto here, and my lists. And this is live showing Kindle store. Then I go on my wish list, which says 2024, but that's just when I got it. And then I work my way through and see which of my titles that I've got on my wish list have been put down to 99p.
Oh, okay.
So I never buy a book that's more than 99p.
No.
So none of these will be 99p because I've already done it.
Sorted by price?
I probably could, but I actually quite like going through doing it. Yeah, so I go through and do that, and then that's how I've ended up with this many books that I haven't read, because these are all on my wish list at some point.
You're just chucking them on when you see them.
Yeah, and then I just don't get around to reading them. So not only have I got however many unread books here, I've also got, I think it's 80 maybe on here that I've unread. But yeah, there we go. So that's what I do. I don't know if that's if they do that on Kobo and stuff, put books down to 99p and things like that. Right, so we are reaching the last 20 minutes of Cosy Reading Night. Should we have another 10-minute sesh and go to 10:02, and then we can just have a 10-minute goodbye?
Wrap this mother up.
Oh, yeah, have a quick wee.
Let me have a little quick wee.
Could you do me an iced water on the way back, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Cool. Right. Okay. Let's go again for the last. Oh God, I feel like it's got hotter.
It's hot.
But how? How has it got hotter? The sun isn't even out anymore. We've normally had the fan on at some point, but obviously because it's just so it sounds like the house is taking off when we have the fan on. So yeah, right. Okay, let's do 10 minutes then, and we'll wrap this up at 10:02. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love ice. We'll put the fan on when this is done and get a bit of airflow. It's 10 to.
I'm going to go and wash my wrist because I spilled some milk on it.
Oh, stinky milk wrist. Well, there we go. What a day. What an evening. It's been very warm. I hope wherever you may be, if it was hot at the beginning, it's cooled down a little bit for you. Oh, I feel like it has got a bit warmer, but I'm going to go and have a cool shower. I've got a bra on. Take my bra off. I mean, none of this clothing is particularly tight on me, but go and have a cool shower, get in my pajamas, pop some fans on, have a little cleanse, and I've got a little spritz toner that sort of cools my face down a little bit. So yeah, maybe I'll do all of that.
Have you told our butchering friends what we're going to do tomorrow?
Or we're going to watch a amateur production of Six the Musical, which is very exciting that our friend is in. So he is in Six the Musical, and he is playing bass he's one of the ladies in waiting. And yeah,
his
daughter's dancing in it. So it's an amateur production, but it's got a lot more cast in it. So they've got the Six Queens, but they've also got a lot of dancers in it as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just hoping it's not really hot in there, David.
Yeah, I know.
Should we move it so your little face can be in? Let's have a look. Kirsty has said, the Kindle is easy to use, but now my local branch library has finally reopened. I have a library card again and have borrowed lots of good books. Apparently Kobo does have 99p deals just like the Kindle, and yes, in June it will get connected to Storygraph. Yeah. So maybe,
Kobo?
Yeah, so maybe you might want to have a look at a Kobo.
Maybe for my birthday.
Be a great present. Heidi's given a great hack. Hot weather hack, put your toner or moisturiser in the fridge. It's the best. Yeah, lovely. Although when David puts suntan lotion on me, which hasn't been in the fridge, oh my God, I just can't cope. It feels so cold. I'm like,
You have got an incredibly low
tolerance
for pain,
discomfort and itchiness and stuff.
Strength.
No strength. I couldn't even open my coffee today. I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to open my coffee I'm not going to have coffee till David gets home. So Trickster's Brain has said 130 pages read. A lovely evening.
Well
done. How many have I read in total? I think I've done over 100. Exactly 100.
God, how many people do it?
Well, I mean, it's
crazy.
I don't know how long we did. We've probably done just over an hour, haven't we? We've done a lot more talking tonight than we would normally do. But yeah, great night. Trickster said very warm. I've just reduced you to Trickster now. Very warm to be under stage lights at the moment. I know. I know.
Yeah.
Brandy Fox says, will this be saved on YouTube? Yes, I do plan to do that, so that this will be available for people to come back and sit and watch. Alison says, how common are air conditioners in the UK? Not common at all. I saw something about a woman who was from New York, actually, Alison, and her saying how when she moved to the UK and people were moaning about sort of 25, 26 degrees, and she was like, what? In New York it gets much hotter than that. Like, why can't people cope? And then she moved here and she was like, well, I see why people can't cope, because
it's just
the country is just not set up for hot weather. And because the hot weather lasts sort of
minimal time.
Yeah, minimal time. Like, it feels like a long time, but we'll have, like, realistically, potentially 2 very hot weeks, maybe twice. So people don't invest in air conditioners and stuff like that. You do have fans. Our cars are air conditioned, and supermarkets, even the hospital that I worked at wasn't air conditioned. Cinema and like the shopping centres, like Blue Water and stuff like that. Yeah, not public places though, because like the hospital where I worked wasn't air conditioned. I remember when one of
places
the
with money.
Yeah. One of the doctors who'd come over from Sweden, and he said, how do I turn on the air conditioning in my office? I was like,
just laughing.
And that was followed with, where do I pick my iPad up from? And I said, no, there are no iPads here.
Here's a pen, here's a bit of paper.
The library isn't air conditioned. There's a lot of, my office, David works in the city, so there's a lot more around that area. But it's also very hot in between that, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But also, like, people were saying, like, it's hot. Like, the temperature doesn't drop at night. So whereas I think in other countries, potentially, like, people get respite, it gets a bit cooler. But I'm sitting here thinking, I'm still really hot even now. And and
this is just the cooler room tonight, which is not normally the case.
I mean, we're fortunate as well because we live on the coast, so we get a coastal breeze. So whenever we're looking at temperatures, although it's hot here, we will have a breeze which will make it a little bit more manageable. Like when we were in Oxford, that's like middle of the country, fucking sweltering. There's no plop offs there. So there we go. Rebecca has read 84 pages. Pam said, I got to the halfway point of Pages and Co, so hopefully I'll finish it tomorrow for book club. Lovely. Caroline said, I've read a few pages, but I was slowly stitching whilst listening to you lovely guys. Thank you for a lovely evening. Thank you. Kirsty says, have a great rest of the day, weekend, everyone. I've read about 70 pages and we'll continue tomorrow. Alison says, I would simply die. I hate the heat. Yeah, we fucking hate the heat. That's why at the moment, like the best tip I can give is, and it feels bonkers to do this, but keep your windows closed and curtains closed for the majority of the day. And then also with this room that we spend the majority of the time with is southwest facing, so we get the sun really at the end of the day. And this room is basically a write-off all day, really, isn't it? You can get in here in the morning with and also because we're dappy, we don't want her to get out, so we can't have her in any rooms that we've got like windows opening. She's a hot little baby as well. But yeah, that's my top tip. It's not really a top tip, is to keep windows closed and curtains. I do think it is cooler in here now. We've got the blackout curtains and the blackout blind. We used to just have normal curtains and a normal blind, and it was unbearable in here. Like this is, you can come in here during the day if you so wished. But yeah, and also like if you can, and your kitchen is another room, like keep that door closed while you're cooking because keep the heat in there. Yeah, and don't use the hairdryer.
I put it on cooler. I don't need to. Well, only for a bit of my beard now because now I've had my noggin cut. I don't blow dry the top.
Noggin. Annika says, "How is Daphne doing in the heat?" She's a hot little baby. But she still does stupid things. Like if she does come in here, like during the day, because she loves it in here. This is her favourite room. She'll go and like lay on the bloody windowsill in between the boiling hot and the curtain. So it's really hot there. So we have to sort of like move her about a bit, don't we? But she seems to be doing all right. She's not sleeping in her usual places and stuff like that. I mean, but nor are we. Well, we're sleeping in bed, but we haven't got. We're not sleeping well. Ilaria says, I felt like a roast in the oven at work. Yeah. So when I used to work at the hospital, we were based in a really, really old building that had really heavy fire doors. And at the time I was working there was a nurse there who used to come and take all of our what are they called, wedges away from the door, because she was the fire officer, and you're not supposed to have doors pushed, like you're not supposed to have doors propped open. But honestly, David, you just couldn't breathe. It was so hot because the sun was around the back in the afternoon.
I remember your office.
A really fucking old building that's just got no.
Well, I think you said it used to be quite nice in the morning, though.
In the morning, it was okay, and also all of our blinds were so old they were like falling to bits. And then you've got an office which has got 3 computers in and 3 human beings. Oh my god, it was unbearable. So yeah, I feel you, Ilaria. Karen said, I've read 57 pages, 23% of my Kindle. Enjoy the summer, Lauren. Thank you. Ali says, I'm in Oxford and no let up heat wise. Trickster said, I have to wear closed toe shoes for work. My feet have been absolutely sweltering. Yeah, I know. All of these bonkers things that we have to do, but we'll get there. I mean, there's going to be some respite now, but
if there's anybody, I'm intrigued to know, because obviously we wouldn't know. But what are schools like for any parents with kids who are in like secondary school? Are they still really like? Because obviously back in our day, we'd have shirt sleeve order where you'd have to wear your blazer. No, you could carry your blazer around with you. You didn't have to wear it in cloth or something, and you could roll your sleeves up and undo your top button. Is that still the case, or are they even more lenient?
They've got to be more lenient. Like that feels insane. That feels so antiquated, doesn't it? But I remember I went to a school where we had to wear blazers, and they would be like, right, you don't have to wear jumpers under your blazers now. And I was like, oh god. There we go. Right. Anyway, this is it from me. You won't see. Well, no, you will see me. There's a video going up on Sunday, which is my wrap up of this month. But now this is me signing out because I've already filmed that. So this is me. This is my last official BookTube moment until September, which is lovely. There will be a cozy reading night come September. And yeah, it'll be nice to have a catch up. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to 3 months off. Like it feels a bit mad that it's actually going to happen. But yeah, thank you for all your lovely support and words. Thank you. Heidi says, I'm so grateful to work from home. My office space is on the side of the house that's mostly in the shade and it's nice and cool most of the time. My office at work is like that, so I am very fortunate about that. It does get a bit warm if I've got more than one person in my office, but I used to wipe my cats with a cool cloth when it got really hot. Also put ice in their water bowls.
Yeah, should do.
How's my running going? There will be no running until October.
Until next March.
It's too hot. Pam says, the last major heatwave, my niece's school strictly enforced full uniform, including blazer in Yorkshire.
Ugh, dicks.
Jenny says, ex-teacher, oh my God, it was horrific in school. We had to have PE kit days in 2022 when it hit mid-30 degrees every day because it just wasn't okay.
Yeah.
Insane, isn't it? Oh, now everyone's saying lovely things. Alison says, thanks, Lauren, we'll miss you. Thank you, have a lovely summer, says Strixon's Brain. Enjoy your summer, Lauren. Have a great summer, Lauren, you will be missed. Hayley says, have a lovely summer, Lauren and David. Enjoy the break and thank you for taking the time for a cosy reading night in the heat
I
wave.
will enjoy the break.
Lots of lovely things. Have a lovely break, Lauren. Rest well. Have a wonderful summer. We'll miss you, Lauren, but hope you have a lovely time off. Have a lovely summer. We'll miss you, Lauren. Have a fab summer. Enjoy your break. Looking forward to September. Just off to sort the dogs as there are fireworks being set off. What the fuck? Where?
Oh my God.
Have a lovely break. We'll miss you both. Enjoy your summer break, Lauren. We'll be here when you get back. Lovely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to a break. And yeah, it's been lovely. So yes, that is now. Oh God, I've got like sweaty knee pits.
Fart.
No, I've got sweaty knee. I've got a last moment.
What an end.
Just leave. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you in September. And I'll see book clubbers on Sunday night.
For my birthday month.
Bye. Oh yeah. Bye. Bye.